Hello and welcome to my office. I am CSO Syrren, leader of Fringe Division, the nation which exists within the land of Murugan. Right now, it is my current obligation to talk about the history of one particular YouTube channel which has had an influence on this very world that I exist in. A channel which isn't just connected to this world, as it were, but to many other worlds in various productions and creative works. And all this started back in 2009 on February 3rd, when the channel for the very first time was created, which back then was only known as Dilly89, which today seems a little bit silly considering all the productions that it has tried to do professionally. But it would take about a year, up until 2010, before a video was actually uploaded. And this very first video would go by the name of Castle Invasion Part A, meant to be part of a tribute series that was dedicated towards another animated stick figure series called the Castle series, created by Oscar Johansson. It would be a very early, if not the first attempt that was made towards employing techniques of cinematography and animation at the very same time in the very same first production that was ever created, which would prove to be quite a challenge. But looking back, it would be a stepping stone for future videos of the similar line to come. Midway through 2010, a music video would be uploaded that would address a missing soundtrack that came from Oscar Johansson's Castle series, specifically towards the Castle Repercussion series called Unfolding Armies. Near the end of the year, Castle Invasion Part B was finally uploaded, which upped the ante when it came to its cinematography and animation. Though at the same time, it would also introduce some extra cheesiness when it came to the plot and the script writing in general. Early next year in 2011, another series was in the making, the Parallax series, which unfortunately to this day never completely took off. All that remains is this trailer, as well as some other footage which was saved and released much later on. So, nothing particularly special would come of these 4 uploads, until the 5th upload came along, called Yogscast: The Shadow of Israfel trailer, based upon the Yogscast popularized series of 2 comical friends wandering around the lands of Minecraft, trying to not get themselves outwitted by the evil villain Israfel himself. The trailer itself was a much more serious take, and much more thriller-like take, on the Yogscast series, which for some bizarre reason received quite a lot of acknowledgement, and to this day is the one video that boasts the most views, likes and comments. It would be 1 minute and 44 seconds of footage, which today still remains a mystery as to how it managed to get this much attention, so surprisingly and unexpectedly. Moving on from the previous upload, which would be the first ever big achievement of this channel for the very first time, came just a quick little short piece that was only 5 seconds long, animated, called Shotgunner, which was created in Flash simply within 4 hours, just as a little test piece towards shotgunning soundy awesomeness. But with all the good that came with the channel, unfortunately there was still the bad, which sometimes came in real life, especially when it came to dealing with maths exams within the first semester of this operator's life. But thankfully, a influential maths teacher, as it were, that followed closely by this exam was generous enough to give the operator a 3-part presentation to do with the latest exam that was accomplished in semester 1 in order to better prepare people for the second exam of semester 2. And thus it seemed only logical that this resource was available to everyone who desperately shared the same predicament as this operator. So, whilst uploading it did receive a few dislikes, it still in the end, in the mind of many, including myself, did prove useful towards being a resource for other people who were perhaps stuck in the same sort of predicament that the operator was. Now my favourite bit. One production which finally now addresses this universe. The Age of Citycraft, Zasuti's Reign, a trailer basically that would broadcast our whereabouts within the lands of Murugan, and it would be a broadcast that would address the impending issues that we had at the time of a particularly bad villain named Zasuti, which thankfully we managed to stop before his reign became so chaotic to the point where it would destroy and wreck so many nations and lives. Well, that's all I can really surmise at this point, but I believe the next part would be better surmised by someone who'd be more qualified for the world of Warcraft. So, I'll see you around. CSO Syrren signing off.
Hello there. I thought I smelt someone sneaking up on me, but the pleasure is all mine. You might remember me from the battlefield. I featured in the production Battlefield WoW as the Worgen that shot some hide off some horde. It was a compilation of the battles and fury to the sound of another genre, mixed as a hybrid, basically. Yes, good times. But if we are to continue and get started with this recap, I think it's best I get out of my armor first into something a little finer.
Now then, as Syrren was saying, the production for the Parallax series only ever produced a trailer and some extra footage, and this extra footage was what was uploaded next. Without much of a plot to speak of, the video would prove to be much more of a demo for how voice acting, radio effects and speech cutting in Warcraft could be done. All this for the very first time. Next to continue the Castle Invasion series would be Part C, which, much like Part B, tried to hone in on interactions between people of Earth and Ray Williams. It featured much more of the animated castle world, and continued to explain the growing plot of how Ray came to be in such a different world in the first place, to that of his own. But still, I believe there is much that needs to be explained, as Part D approaches. If anything, I'm glad I'm not part of the Creatures universe. Anyway, next up would be the next big milestone for the Operator's channel. The first video, which featured and won first place in the University of South Australia's Twilight Film Festival. The cyber safety ad, originally created for a high school creative arts assignment, displayed the simple message that even a Fort Knox home could be vulnerable to attack from the world of cyberspace. The submission came in the first place as a result of the class's influential teacher, and boy, was he on the money for vying to submit. $300 in fact, as well as other perks were won. The simple message of this story, as the teacher also once said, you have to be in it to win it. Going back to the Castle universe again, specifically following Oscar's universe, a tribute was uploaded that essentially acted to surmise Oscar's Castle series to the epic song of Chris Cornell's You Know My Name. Naturally, it came about as a result of the massive influence the series had on the operator's life. So, it was simply just a small way of saying that Oscar was awesome, at the very least. Now we're halfway through the history thus far, so we best get a move on to finish off the other half. Following the operator's creative arts classes, there came a short documentary which discussed how technology had a large influence on the modern day arts. Like with this video, discussing the videos of the past. Videoception! Next, after hearing how plenty of people did playthroughs of games, and about one game called Slender, the operator thought it would be a good idea to... well, I think the rest is pretty self-explanatory.
Ah! Oh god! Oh god! Oh... Ah! Oh!
yeah. Yep, moving on. The AVCON convention of 2012, which appeared centred in the city of Adelaide, was an occasion to celebrate the many worlds of anime and games with cosplays and competitions. But most prominent of all, it was the arrival of the renowned voice actor Crispin Freeman, who personally hosted a voice acting panel where 3 lucky individuals could get a chance at practicing voice dubbing over various anime. One of these people, as it happens, was in fact the operator. And despite being only on stage for about 20 minutes, it would become another part of some of the most fulfilling things that this operator had done in his life. It provided a unique insight into how voice acting was handled in the animated industry, which to this day is one of the operator's strongest aspirations, as heard in a very recent voice acting audition in particular. Hatsune Miku, the world's first virtual diva, and a cosplay that commonly featured at the AVCON convention, would be the subject of the next video, celebrating Miku's 4th birthday, Inception style, following along with a trend that involved putting the movie trailer soundtrack Mine Heist over many other movies and games. She certainly went through many levels. How many? I still wonder. Fast beats and fast cutting came with a fan trailer made towards the 3-part episode of Zeonic Madness 4. Can't say much, it's once again pretty self-explanatory, with explosions, guns, fists, and of course more explosions. Back to Syrren's universe, with one conflict averted, unfortunately another took its place, one on the more domestic side. A chase between a Fringe Division official and barbarians after the interception of valuable intelligence occurred along the streets of Rule. Lucky for him that he escaped, but perhaps more so than the war which then ensued.
Well, at least we didn't have a dragon try to destroy the world.
Touché. Anyway, last but not the least from me, starring myself once more, came my rise through the battles I waged with those at home and abroad. We lose some to retirement, perhaps that will be my fate, but some are simply lost forever, as per the funeral I attended. Regardless of those times, no matter what world one finds themselves in, we all have to rise to continue, which was exactly what I did. And that, I believe, brings me to the end of my little bit. I think I'll order another pint after sharing that many a story. Time I earned my break. Perceptor EtriusSierra reporting in. As it happens a few hours ago, I received transmission from alternate reality for me to continue with a certain recap, as it was, of a particular YouTube channel of interest. So, it has fallen to me as part of my duty to come in with this full report of this recap. So, to begin with, the next video in line of this recap is a Let's Play of SCP Containment Breach once again by the subject operator, the one behind this YouTube channel. Like the operator's previous Let's Play of Slender, it would be another witty attempt and skilled attempt at trying to keep one's cool in the heat of horror by avoiding a certain SCP-173, a creature that could only move if line of sight was broken. And of course, not forgetting SCP-106, another creature that could materialize through solid objects with the capability of being able to transport a victim to a pocket dimension. Next on the list for the YouTube channel's recap would be a video which would illustrate our outfit in our own reality, known as the Vanu Fringe Division, one of the most senior-most outfits currently out there on the front lines fighting for control over Araxium. There is a strength which comes with great organization, and it shall be with our organization that we will continue to flourish. We already consist of over 450 members, and I'll be damned to hear anything from the Terran Republic or the new conglomerate for what they have to say about that. Next on the list would be a video that would illustrate the hypothetical circumstances behind being able to penetrate an enemy's warp gate. At this present stage, we don't actually have the technology to do so, but the rest of the details behind it are classified. Sorry, I can't talk about it. Anyway, moving along, next up on the list would be a MMD Lightsaber Battles rebuild, which came as a result of a previous upload by another individual codenamed Mavalo Harley, who uploaded the original MMD lightsaber fight. What started this rebuild in the first place was with what information was lost with the original video by Mavalo Harley. Sound, unfortunately, was completely out of sync just about, with all the lightsaber hits and effects. So, it would come down to the volunteering spirit of the operator to help Mavalo out with correcting these errors. Originally with the rebuild, there was going to be extra lightsaber effects that would enhance the viewing experience. Unfortunately, due to further technical issues with handling the video, only editing and lighting could be accomplished and released as the final product. But regardless of such a failure, the video ultimately did turn out to be a success anyway. Going back to the VFD, another video would be uploaded that would detail the happenings behind a Operation Iron Heel, which was the result of collaboration with another outfit, codenamed Trolls. The objectives behind this operation were simple. It was to occupy all armor and air assets within the given area, the Crown, for as long as possible. The outcome of this operation was deemed a success, and is undergoing review for further details as to how we could improve our forces and strategy from that one operation. Next, as the previous transmission mentioned, a voice acting audition would be hosted up. With the operator's prior experience in such matters, he decided to do a voice acting audition that was directed more so towards Trigram Productions, a Halo Machinima group. Thus far, since this report, he has successfully been adopted into Trigram's productions, as well as 2 other minor productions along the way. And with the VFD once more, most recently, our largest operation yet, the VFD Operation Hammerdome was initiated, which, objectives-wise, was once again to occupy all armor and air assets, but this time, the location would be directly at the front door of the new conglomerate's warp gate. The occupation went successfully well, occupying them constantly under fire for 2 days. Many armor and air deployments by the new conglomerate were lost in flames and ashes. An operation definitely deemable of a success. And finally, coming to the very end of this recap, as well as this report, would be one final video that was uploaded that was to do with the credits soundtrack behind the Slender Man movie. This is Perceptor EtriusSierra signing off with this report. Final comments. Happy hunting.
Yo, I gotta stop doing that.
Oh, hello. Hi there. Sorry, I didn't see you there. So I just came back from Planetside 2 again, and, yeah. Real life, now. So, I've talked about my history of, videos that I have done, and obviously am creating this video and all that stuff, right? Because of me hitting 50 subscribers and having already surpassed, my 30th video. Although bear in mind, I probably should say that, it took me, 3 years to get to 50 subscribers and 30 videos. So I've been pretty slow and all that. Been on and off occasionally and all that. Let's go outside, shall we? So this is my house in case you haven't figured it out. Along with other occupants. Anyway, so yeah, essentially, I thought it'd be a good idea to just do a vlog. I've never done a vlog before. I'm pretty damn inexperienced about it, so forgive me if I'm babbling on about stuff that, that I've already covered, or just incoherently pausing at every stage and all that. So forgive me on that. Yeah, today is the last day of my holidays officially. So for doing all kinds of, hobbyist film stuff, this is literally my last day to do that before I start my very first year at university and all that stuff doing nanoscience materials. What else should I talk about? I don't know, yeah. So, yeah, 30 plus videos, including this one now, and 50 subscribers. I'm very happy with that, although it only took me, like I said, 3 years to get there, but 50 subscribers. I always like to picture the number of subscribers like, picture 50 subscribers and trying to fit them in this room. I mean, that is a lot of people, and I'm quite happy to have people that recognize my work and all that for what I do. I should really talk about how the videos, if people have been following, I always like to cover them fairly broadly. I go from machinima making. Let's go back to my room. Machinima making, animations, general filming and all that stuff, right? And music videos and all that. Yeah, I definitely like to keep it broad so I can keep it basically fresh with the sort of content that I like to bring out. And I'd be happy to just, one day do live action filming like I'm doing now, and do animation the next, a music video, whatever, basically, just to keep content fresh for me and for you guys, essentially. Sorry, pointing. I shouldn't do that. It's rude, even down a camera. Is that rude down a camera? I don't know. Yeah. So, I'll try over the period of time, even though I've got university and all that stuff, right, which I seem to be just, envisioning as this sort of dreadful, well, not dreadful, but this busy stage of my life that's going to really suck up a lot of my time and all that stuff, first year and all that stuff. Although I've been told it's like a recap of year 12 and all that, I'm still just, keeping my mind conscious as to what to do and all that, and what to focus on and all that. So, but anyway, yeah, regardless of that, I'll try if I can to keep up with, doing videos and all that stuff, right? I've like got a few things floating in my head even now, even at the end of my holidays. I still haven't got projects which I'm finished, curses. I've got like voice acting I'm doing for Trigrams Productions. Go check out that channel. They are really good. Good Halo machinima makers. I've got... sorry, I'm having a mental blank here. I've got other stuff to do with writing. I'm creating a little animated trailer which is going to be advertising for a fanfiction I'm writing for a friend of mine, Eugene, who created a 4-minute 3D animation using characters upon his trademark and all that stuff, right? He's really good animation, so I thought, what the hell, write a massive 50,000 word story thus far anyway, about two main characters, Lindsay and Kiyu, having it out between bounty and a hunter and all that stuff, right? So there's that. I've still got to complete. And most importantly, and this is one that's been going on for yonks, it's been going on for years, this thing. It's since year 9, quite literally, in high school. I've been busy trying to create a series called the Castle Invasion series. That has been going on for yonkers, and that is the definition of an on-off project, pretty much, for that extended duration of time. I know one person I met over YouTube, I think it was Boomer Lover or something like that, I can't quite remember. He's been edging me to try and get that completed as fast as I can. I'm sorry I haven't got around to getting it done. I'm trying to get it done as fast as I can. But yeah, it's kind of lost a little bit of its momentum, and not in the mood of doing it. I like to do a lot of different things relatively quickly, so I'll try and get back to that project as soon as I can. Anyway, I don't know, is this a normal length for a vlog? I'm not sure. I might have rambled off a bit for a bit too long. Probably going to have to cut this together or something like that. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, as per usual. I'm watching my Minecraft pickaxe and sword. I got that from my last adventure from Minecraft and all that stuff. So, yeah, I'll see you guys around. This is my first ever vlog. I hopefully haven't made a dick of myself.